Hey everyone, Pupsker here, and this is my first impression of TeamFight Tactics. Honestly, I've been watching people play it a lot the past couple of days, preparing for actually being on the beta and being able to play it, and I've gotten in about 5 or so games. The majority of them I've been above 3. I haven't won yet. I've gotten 2nd place a couple of times. I've gotten 4th, 7th once, and then I think I got 5th and 3rd. I mean, I don't know my match history, but I've been playing a lot of it as much as I could. But the queue today, which is today's Wednesday, time of recording, the queue is 4 hours when I got home from work. So I think I'm gonna go to work, queue beforehand, and then come home and play the game. So, first impressions are it's a good game. It's actually pretty fun. Like, if you like League of Legends and you like their characters and you want to keep that going and you also like auto chess, this would kind of be a no-brainer for the new auto chess series. Like, why would you really go over to Dota when you can just do it on League? You already know the characters. The items are similar but not the same. Like, it's no surprise that this game is 100% League of Legends auto chess. The same way Dota auto chess was Dota auto chess. I know, it's crazy how MOBAs just copy each other the second they possibly can. Insane. And it has all the similar items, it has a lot of similar characters. I don't know why I'm saying similar. Oh yeah, I'm saying similar because obviously they don't share the same types of stats, and they don't do the same types of things. For example, in auto chess, you have a whole bunch of items, and they're all 2 items, right? So you can build a chain vest and a BF sword into a guardian angel. Okay, makes sense. That'll give you damage, armor, and you revive with 300 HP. Or you can do Negatron's cloak with BF sword, and that gives you a bloodthirster, which gives 35% lifesteal. What? Yeah. So items aren't the same, but they're the same item from the game, and it's pretty cool. I'll show the item cheat sheet up right now, and I will also in like 10 or 20 seconds show the class cheat sheet. Those were made by Scarra, or at least he was the first to give them out, and I will also provide links to download a picture of that as well. So use that as you will. And this cheat sheet's been a huge lifesaver. So I want to give some tips and tricks of TeamFight Tactics. All in all, it's good. It's a good auto chess game. The current issues are it's really freaking buggy. It is buggy as all hell. And that's causing a lot of problems. Pretty much the only bad part about the game is it's buggy. It's way too buggy. It's actually game-breakingly buggy a lot of the time. So it's really annoying. I've had my characters just look at the wall for 5 seconds straight instead of attacking the enemy, and I've had my main damage dealer do that, and then I just lost the fight. It was the dumbest thing ever. And then other times, I was holding a unit, and I swapped him with another unit, and then I went to sell that unit, and it sold the unit that I was originally holding. I've seen that on Scarra's stream as well, and earlier in the day, there was a glitch in the game where it would give you an extra unit each turn if you built the 2 spatula item that erase unit costs or something like that. And someone, or Scarra, and I believe a bunch of other people like Disguised Toast as well, they managed to get 21 units on the board. So it's currently buggy as all hell, but it is a public beta on the PBE client, so that's to be expected, and honestly, I can't really fault them on that yet. This is why this is a first impressions and tips and tricks video. That's right, I'm also doing tips and tricks. So, that was my first impression. All in all, it's a pretty good game. I'm not editing this video, by the way, so I'm sorry you're just gonna have to deal with that. I just want to talk about the game unedited in my entirety as I can. So, and then tips and tricks. So far, I've learned a lot about the game. Income is pretty important, and I feel like I'm pretty bad at that. So what I mean by income is, if you have 10 gold by the end of the round, you get an extra gold. Up to 50, which would make you get an extra 5 gold. So it's pretty important to stack your gold so you get a good income, and then you can buy better units. But sometimes it's not that easy. Sometimes you get a really bad start, and it's a lot harder to do that. In my very first game, which you're watching right now, I got a really lucky start. I was able to build income really well, and I was able to just go for one straight build and almost win the game, and it worked really well, no shock there. But other things I've noticed is you don't necessarily have to go for, let's say, an endgame noble build, which is 6 units which are nobles, or you don't have to go for the really large endgame builds on units. One of the most important things I've found, in my experiences at least, are usually stacking one unit with damage and then everyone else to support that unit helps a lot. It can run into issues where that unit gets killed first though, so you'll have to 100% have protections for that unit. That, in my experience, has been what's been winning me most of the games. I've gotten so far. I've gotten 4th place in this game multiple times so far, or just once, I don't know. My mind's everywhere at this point on this game. It's super fun and I want to play a lot more. I just can't yet. I'm going to stream a lot more. Obviously, I'm still playing RuneScape, and I'm still going to make RuneScape videos, guys, so calm down. Anyways, a lot of the times I get to endgame, and I have one character with all 3 items. They're nothing even good. I'm not even good at this, but more tips and tricks. It's good to stack all items on one unit, and it's good to wait until you get additional drops so you can build it into a good item. So don't instantly place an item on a character, wait until you get some more, so maybe you can build your Ginzo's Rageblade and then throw it on that unit. The number one thing I'm also screwing up, I'm doing a lot of things bad and I'm really trying to learn right now, is I'm not paying attention to my items. So I'm just like, oh no, it'll probably help me right now to throw this BF sword on this person, and then later on I throw in another item and it's like, oh, this sucks. I don't like this whatsoever. It's a terrible item. Like it'll increase damage and it'll help, but I'd much rather have like a Ginzo's, Infinity Edge, and I don't know, like Static Shiv, something else like that. Like that would be such a good build, or just something that makes me crit more. There's a lot of ideas, but yeah, build items and center them towards one unit specifically, and then from there try to support that unit. Such a good thing to get you later in the game. It's not going to win you the game though. To win you the game, you need a good combination of units that support each other well, a well upgraded character, maybe tier 2 or tier 3 that does a lot of damage, and then a couple good origins. So this game has a class system and an origin system. Essentially, get more units of one class, get more units of one origin, and they give boosts. Those boosts are on the left side of the screen, or sorry, I shouldn't say boosts, I should say buff. They give like racial buffs. For example, the brawler ones, at 2 brawlers on the board, all brawlers get plus 300 health, and 4 brawlers on the board, all brawlers get plus 700 health. So that's really good. That's a lot of tankiness. But something like Ranger's better, where with 4 units, every 3 seconds, Rangers have a 25% chance at 2 units and 65% chance at 4 units to double their attack speed for 3 seconds. Like, that's pretty cool. And then Elementalist, at 3 Elementalists, it just straight up summons a unit, and that unit is a freaking tank. Like, there are so many different builds you can go in this game, with there being 10 classes and 13 origins. It's awesome. Like, you can go to, let's say, 3 Blade Masters, 2 Brawlers, 2 Gunslingers, and that could do pretty well endgame, to be honest. Or you could do 2 Guardians, 2 Knights, and then 3 Blade Masters, and that could do really well. Like, there's so many possible combinations. You don't have to go, like, 6 whole Demons, or 6 whole Glacial units to freeze, or 6 Nobles, even though in the first video I'm showing you right now, I went to the 6 Noble build, I believe, and it did really well. So there's a lot of good things you can do, a lot of bad things, but a really important thing to note is it's really hard to screw up your board completely. Like, okay, if you know what you're doing at the game and you kind of know how to build or get yourself out of a hole, even if you have a pretty shit early game, and trust me, I keep having terrible early games where I can't decide what units I want to place, I don't know what to build, I can't get any upgrades. On my last game that I got 4th place, okay, I had 3 2-star units, and the rest were 1-stars. And I had like 2 units here, 2 units here, 3 units here. And that was my build. It was god-awful, but it worked. So if you know what you're doing, you can build yourself out of a hole. Mainly, I would just use the cheat sheets as much as possible, and you really need to learn what units are good and what items they're good to build for. So let's say, for example, people bring up Draven a lot right now as a really good late game damage dealer, and they're right. If you build him with like an Infinity Edge, a BF sword, and that would be okay. You could do BF sword, and then just attack speed, and a Ginzo's Rage Blade. That would be really good as well. Like, there's a lot of possible things you can build on him, but the main thing is, if you build damage on him, it will do damage. And my god, yes. So you really need to learn what units use what items, what's good on them, what'll benefit them the most. Spell power and attack speed and damage in this game, people are still a little confused. I believe attack damage affects how much mana you get from an attack, and attack speed's attack speed, and then spell power determines how much damage your ult does, no matter what you are, because spell damage is just ult damage in this game. And your units, well, they're pretty good. They're all pretty good. So you have to learn what units have good synergies, essentially, with items. And other units, of course. It's going to be a big mess, and the best way I would say is watch some streamers, see what they do, because obviously a lot of the streamers have played a lot more than us, because they do it as a full-time job. It's a lot easier for them to play the game than us, that's for sure. And I plan on doing that. I'm watching like Scarra, and I'm a Cutie Pie, and Wreckful play TFT. So it's a pretty good time. So I hope this really helped some people at least, and honestly just play the game at this point and just slowly figure out what's good. It's pretty fun, and the game could still go through pretty big changes damage wise and balance wise. So I would say just go and try to have a good time. There's no ranked yet, so I don't have a huge desire to necessarily try hard. I just want to try a bunch of different builds and a bunch of different characters, see what I like, see what I think is strong. Like, for example, I was really expecting Caston to be a little stronger, even though he's a 1-star unit, and he just kind of sucks. I could see him being pretty decent with items, but nothing too amazing. And another thing, I've won and done so much better just getting up to the point where I can get a 5-star Yasuo and then loading him up with all the items. In my last game I played, I got to 5 stars, I sold my 2-star Lissandra with 3 fully built items on her, I threw him on the Yasuo, I threw him in a corner, and he kicked ass and won me 4th place from 7th place. So it's great. It's really, really good. You quickly realize some things are just really good at this one thing and how to build, and I'm having a good time just figuring out what everything is. I can't wait for the game to come out. I can't wait for rank to be a thing. And most importantly, I can't wait until the game's a lot less buggy, because bugs are 100% ruining the game. If the game released like this, I'd be really sad. But it's on the PvE, and it runs really well, other than, you know, bugs and occasional lag. Like, the game really does lag, but the PvE is getting slammed with login requests, so it's not really too surprising. So I'm hoping it's all sorted out really well by the launch, and if not, oh well, but I think it will be, because Riot's usually, they're okay at that, they're okay. Day of, though, we're probably going to see a lot of bug fixes. So, it is what it is. Anyways, guys, if you liked this video, please subscribe. I make RuneScape videos, and if I really like TeamFight Tactics, I will probably start making a lot more TeamFight Tactics videos. You know, it's not too surprising. If I like a game, I'll play it more and make more videos. What a shock. That's how it's always been. I've never tied myself down to a one game because I have a job. This isn't my job. Anyways, subscribe, all that jazz. Check out my Twitter. Check out my Twitch where I stream TeamFight Tactics to probably 1 person max because I'm a no-name streamer YouTuber. See you guys. Peace.